Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today I want to take you along while doing a bit of digital decluttering. I think that's just a part of decluttering that never really ends, even more than the physical things we own. And today I just wanted to show you my routine or what I do from time to time to feel like everything is tidy and I can actually work with my digital devices in the digital space. Now, when it comes to digital decluttering, I think the focus there is not so much on trying to have the least amount of things, trying to have the least amount of emails, of files, of devices. It's more, I think that's similar with physical belongings too, but it's even more about just streamlining everything so that you can have a good workflow, so that you can get rid of some of that stress that sometimes comes with especially like technical digital devices. I, for myself, right now, I'm a bit overwhelmed. My emails are just overflowing. I have so many, most of them are junk, but I need to declutter them. I need to be able to actually see when an important email is coming in. And actually, to all of you who want to send me emails, there's an email address in my About section on my YouTube channel. You can write emails there to my email address, or you can go to my blog and use like the contact form there. I receive all of these messages and I try to get back to you, and I hope that I won't overlook any, especially after today's decluttering session. And while we will focus on decluttering like emails and things and files today, I also want to encourage you to always think about a mindful and intentional like time management when it comes to the online world. That's not what I'm going to focus on today. I will link you a video up here where I have talked about that about a year ago or so. I think that's a very important part of digital decluttering as well. And I think it's a very hard one sometimes. But let's start with the decluttering when it comes to the digital declutter today for my phone, for my computer. And I'll start with making a list of the things that I do want to declutter, that I think need decluttering. For that, I just used my notes app that came with my phone, and I'll see what it is that needs to be decluttered, just to not lose the overview, lose sight of what's to do when we dive deep into all of the emails and files, because that can get very overwhelming, I think. So I do have a list now on my phone, and I want to start with my emails. Usually I am kind of on top of that, but lately I think my inbox has about 300 unread emails, and that's not something that usually happens, but it's just way too much. And I also have a different email account and I have another 100 unread emails there. So I'm going to go through them, just delete everything I can. I'm not going to reply to emails right now, but I'm just going to sort them and delete what's just newsletters, unsubscribe from newsletters if I can, and just clean it up, tidy it up. There. It's actually a bit more than 300 emails, and I'm just gonna try to get rid of as many as possible right now. So after like, I don't know, 40 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, I'm done. It's not inbox zero, but I have like less than 50 emails in my inbox, no unread emails anymore. So I am happy with that. And let's tackle the next point. Decluttering my pictures in Lightroom. Lightroom is just my photo organizing and editing software on my computer. And that, of course, is also the same for my phone. That's what is next after decluttering my photos in Lightroom. And since I do that on a regular basis, I only kind of have to go through the picture of the last few weeks. And so I'm just gonna continue where I left off last time. That usually takes a lot of time, and I sometimes do that while listening to a podcast or being on the phone with a friend, just because it's something that I can do without really thinking about, or I can listen to something while I watch the pictures and see which ones are good. But luckily today it was just a few pictures. It was also fairly easy. If I make some thumbnail pictures where I hold an item, that's a very specific thing. That's a picture I cannot really use in another situation, and therefore I can just delete all of the ones that were not great. And so that's a lot easier than if I would make portraits, because if I have portrait pictures, I can use them for different things. I can use them for Instagram, for profile pictures, for my media kit, or to send to somebody, to print out, whatever, for thumbnails, for YouTube, and just for records, to keep for myself, to see how I looked right now when I look back at that time in 10 years. And so today was easy. Sometimes it's harder. It's definitely something time consuming. But now let's move on to my phone. And I think here it's a lot harder to actually declutter the pictures, because it's just so many. Because I usually, back a few years ago, I wouldn't take so many pictures with my phone. But recently, I tried to make more Instagram stories, but I find it kind of hard to keep up with that. But a lot of times I just make a lot of pictures and hope that I might use them for Instagram stories. And then I end up not doing that, but I still have all of these pictures. So my phone cannot tell me how many it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot. And since I am not like on public transport a lot of times anymore, since I work from home, I never have these times where I have nothing to do and would go through my pictures. Like I always, when I have nothing to do, I can read. I have my whole apartment around me. I have books, I have internet. And so I rarely do that just like that. And so I have to dedicate time towards deleting pictures. So many pictures. It's so many pictures. Let's just start from now and go back. Oh my God. It's so much. I'm just like at half a year, like 6 months, and it's maybe a task I have to do in more than that video, because it takes a lot more time than I thought. I think it's enough for these photos. I think I'm gonna continue another time. I'm sure I deleted hundreds of pictures right now, but now I want to continue to actually get through this, because I'm doing this for over an hour now. And the next point on my list is the apps on my phone. I mean, I don't install apps all the time, but it still happens that I think like, oh, let's just install it and see if I use it, see how it is. But there are some apps that I definitely don't need, and I'm gonna uninstall them now. I actually have 2 games on my phone, but I never play phone games, and I actually just downloaded them because the ads on Instagram convinced me. But I still don't play them. Like I play them once when I download them, and then they usually are a bit different than advertised. And so I play them once when I download them, and then I don't need them anymore. It was just about 5 or 6 apps that I downloaded, thought I needed them, and realized that I never used them. I still have a lot of apps that I don't use on a regular basis, but occasionally. And I mean, they're not taking up too much space on my phone. They're not really in my way. So if I see myself using them again in the future, I'll keep them on my phone. But it's still, there were like 6 apps that I don't think I'll ever need again. And now the next thing is people I follow on Instagram specifically. Like on YouTube, I feel like the algorithm usually just shows me the things I want to see anyways. I don't really use the subscribe tab a lot anymore. I just use my home screen, and usually YouTube recommends the videos that I want to watch. But for Instagram, I sometimes end up following more people. I also often follow brands, for example, that are sustainable, and I think, like, yes, that really sounds interesting, but I end up never like purchasing something, or I don't need that product that they offer anymore. And so I think it makes sense to declutter the people we follow on a regular basis. Usually it's more so brands, but also if it's people or influencers I follow, then I just realize that I don't enjoy their content, or that I tend to skip all of their stories, then I just don't need to follow them. Another reason why I would unfollow accounts on Instagram is when they just haven't uploaded in like 1.5 years, and I see their name and it's like, what was that again? And I click on it and I see like, I don't remember, I haven't seen posts from them. And sometimes, I mean, it's the algorithm. Sometimes I'm just not shown the posts people upload, and that's not what I want if I'm interested in the account. But if I like look at their pictures and see that they just really haven't uploaded in months or even years, or I see that like the last 20 pictures, it's just not interesting me, then I will unfollow as well. So I unfollowed 8 accounts, and that's fine. Just the ones that I didn't see myself interact with again in the future, and that did not like upload, or that I wasn't interested in anymore. Most of them were brands, as I already thought. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just organize my desktop and see if like my hard drives are organized well. So that's now we're kind of done decluttering, but I'm gonna organize now so that I can back everything up later. I do not store any things on my computer just because it's easier that way. I store my private files. That's also why I have 2 hard drives here at the moment. I store my private pictures and things on this hard drive, and everything that has to do with my business is on this hard drive. And I have this huge hard drive that I've talked about in my low buy update that I'm gonna link you up here, where you can like see what I've bought. Other than that, I have that huge hard drive now, and I'm gonna like copy everything from here onto that hard drive to have 2 of the to have the file secured, which is then gonna back up into the cloud. But that's done with my boyfriend's computer, and now I'm just gonna organize everything. And when I'm done, I can take my hard drives, give them to my boyfriend, and he can back them up at his computer, copy them to the other hard drive, upload them into the cloud. So that's what we're gonna do next. I'm mostly just going to take a look at my folder structure, if there are any folders that are like just new folder, or that I know that I need to convert into other folders. I'm going to look at my desktop, if I have anything on my desktop that I do not want to have on my desktop that needs to be safe, because if it's on my desktop, it's not backed up. Another thing that I like to do right now is go through my downloads folder, because that just catches everything that I think is worth saving, or like invoices or things that I got with emails, and I just like download them, and sometimes I forget to take them from the download folder to their actual destination, where they are backed up, where they are organized, where I know where they are. So that's what I'm going to do now. Go through my download folder and organize everything that needs to be organized in here. So my hard drives are ready to be backed up, and that is my routine when it comes to digital decluttering. I have to say that digital decluttering is definitely not one of my favorite things. It's just kind of exhausting. It's just not something that I like doing. You can't really see the difference. It's not really like, it makes working a lot easier. Yes, it's great to have everything organized, but it's still something that kind of just feels like a chore that we kind of have to do to not drown in files and emails and things like that. But I still think it's worth doing when we can have like a certain routine, a certain structure, to maybe also remind us when to do it. Let me know how you do that, if you have like a certain time each week or month or year where you organize these things. If you do not have them organized, if you can keep up with being organized right away, so you never have to take out time to delete big pictures and sort emails and things like that. That would be really interesting to me, because I'm not 100% happy with how it works. Also, my computer is kind of dying. There are more and more things that don't work how they are supposed to work anymore, so it's extra important to have everything backed up for the case that my computer is actually gonna like completely break down from one day to the next. We'll see. I will have to maybe bring it somewhere to be repaired because there's just, yeah, there are many things. The newest thing is that I cannot use it without it being plugged in. I really have to like open it up, screw it apart and see if there's something wrong with the battery. I don't know, we'll see. But I do think having my files organized is very helpful to just have the best work experience possible, also the best like relaxing or memory experience when it comes to pictures or consuming something online. And so that's something that I do take time to do every now and then. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, consider giving it a thumbs up because that would really help my channel. And if you want to see more videos, I'm going to link you a video here and a playlist here that you can check out if you're interested. And I also hope to see you next time. Bye!